Thanks for checking out this haul video. So, yes, it's Vinegar Syndrome time. I'm going to go over all of the Vinegar Syndrome and kind of Vinegar Syndrome-ish stuff that I got from the Halfway to Black Friday sale, although I'm going to be putting out, I think, 2 more videos after this to catch everything that I got from the Halfway to Black Friday sale, because I made a relatively big purchase. So for this one, it's just what was new for the Vinegar Syndrome releases plus cinematographs, because I did get that one. Everything else I'll do after that was just stuff that had been available, and one's a partner label, and I'll just go over those. So this is my stack, looking awesome. It's a lot to go through, so hopefully this won't be too long of a video. I'll try and keep it relatively short, but just a reminder, for these movies, I'm actually going to end up doing a review video where I kind of talk about my feelings on all the films and rank them once I'm done watching through all of them. Now, I might not be able to do all of that in one video, because that would be really long, just like not showing you everything I bought from Halfway to Black Friday sale, because that would be like an hour. So it might be broken up into like 2, and it also might take me a while because it's a lot to watch through. But anyway, that said, let's start talking about it. So again, this is ranked from what I'm least excited about to what I'm most excited about watching. And it doesn't mean that I'm not excited about stuff, because I bought it. So obviously I'm excited about it. So what I am least excited about from May is Navy SEALs. Now, this was a pre-order one from when they made it available in March. As you can see what it's looking like. I like that artwork back there. This artwork's okay. This is way cooler. I'm down with that. This is one of these like boxes that they do, that they've done for a bunch of other stuff like Beastmaster and Showgirls, which are 2 that I do have. So let me show you the inside of this first. Some dudes playing golf. I assume this is what the Navy SEALs do when they're not Navy SEAling. You know what I mean? There is a booklet in here, which, cool. I'm excited to check out the booklet because their essays have typically been really good, really well done. They get great people to do them. And then the actual regular slip cover, I think they could have done something better with this, something a little more interesting. I get what this is, like it's kind of like a patriotic Navy SEALs type thing. Like, that's fine to a degree. I just think they could have gone more interesting on this. And especially the back artwork. That's terrible. Like, that's a waste of the back of the slipcover. We should have gotten something way more interesting, in my opinion. So then I just have that one on there. And the discs. Very boring discs. Wish they would have done something about that. Okay, it's a 4K, obviously. I mainly got this because I kind of like Charlie Sheen's performances. I don't think he's a good guy, but I like his performances. After a naval helicopter is sent to assist a civilian ship in need of help in the Mediterranean Sea, the pilots are taken hostage by a group of terrorists and held for ransom. A team of elite special forces soldiers known as SEALs are sent in to rescue the captive pilots. During their mission, the team discovers a shipment of stolen U.S. Stinger missiles, but their commander, Lieutenant Curran, makes the decision to ignore the missiles in an attempt to complete their assigned objective. Frustrated by the decision to leave the missiles behind, hot-headed Lieutenant Hawkins, played by Charlie Sheen, struggles with his ability to take orders. After U.S. naval intelligence tracks down the location of the missiles in Beirut, the SEALs are sent into dangerous enemy territory in order to destroy them. They must work together as the well-trained fighting force they are if they want to complete their mission successfully and make it out alive. So, sounds interesting. Looks like there's a lot of special features, which I'll end up talking about during the review portion. But this looks fun. Typically, I mean, it's not what I typically buy from Vinegar Syndrome, like that, the more action-y, like, stuff like that. But, once again, I said Charlie Sheen, you know. Kind of got me. Plus the trailer looked fun. It really did. Okay, so the next one is, and I've actually seen one of these movies. It was the double one, and this was one of their secret titles that you could have pre-ordered in March, although it was also part of the subscriber, what subscribers get, because I am a subscriber. And it's a double with Criminally Insane and Satan's Black Wedding. Now, I have seen Criminally Insane before, I think like 2 years ago at this point. and a really crappy version of it. I flipped this just to see, like, that original artwork's actually pretty fun, and same thing for Satan's Black Wedding. I liked Criminally Sane when I initially saw it. It plays really well as like a so bad it's good film, so if you're into that type of stuff, you're gonna think it's fun. There's the disc, and then let me show you, because this is a little different. It's kind of like the two pieces of artwork on the slipcover put together, which is a cool idea. I'm down with that. Oh, I need to... Maybe I shouldn't have flipped that, because now I have to read from the inside. In the annals of 1970s regional filmmaking, Nick Millard carved out a niche with his extremely low budget yet highly artistic horror and action movies. Presented here are his two seminal works, offered as a double feature, just as they originally screened in drive-ins and grindhouses across America. Ethel Jankowski has just been released from an asylum where her both violent and suicidal tendencies had kept her under medical supervision. Deemed cured, save for her severe weight problems, she moves in with her grandmother, who, under doctor's orders, locks up the household's food supply to prevent Ethel from continuing to gorge herself. However, Ethel's raging appetite cannot be contained, and as visitors to the house begin discovering her growing stash of snacks, she has no choice but to violently kill them and hide their remains. A charmingly depraved proto-slasher. So, it is. I mean, it's a good time. Like I said, if you like so bad it's good films, you'll like it. And then for Satan's Black Wedding, Mark Gray is reeling from the horrible news that his sister Nina has committed suicide. Searching for answers, he travels to the secluded, forest-surrounded town in which she lived. Unsettled by the frosty, almost ghost-like demeanor of the locals, Mark begins to suspect that there might be something more sinister behind the sister's death, only to discover that the town itself is a coven of vampires. With more than its fair share of bright red bloody kills, Nick Millard's sophomore horror feature, Satan's Black Wedding, is a tightly constructed and incredibly atmospheric blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and I did hear in a interview with, I think it was in an interview with Oscar Bescher, that, from Vinegar Syndrome, that they got like a whole collection of Nick Millard films, so you can bet on seeing more Nick Millard releases. So I'm excited for this one to rewatch Criminally Insane and check out Satan's Black Wedding for the first time. We'll see. So the next one in my ranking is not Vinegar Syndrome proper. I did have to purchase this one additionally, just like Navy SEALs, and this is in their Cinematograph line, which I have Red Rock West and Little Darlings at the moment. Watch Red Rock West, not Little Darlings. But that's Dangerous Game. I was sold on this one because it's Abel Ferrara, and I really liked his movie Miss 45. I thought that was a great film. I do want to own that at some point. But, yeah, and they have these things. It always smells like, yep, like cement, like model cement. There it says Dangerous Game, which actually looks like it might be printed a little crooked. Let me look. Is it? No, it looks alright. Just an illusion of it. It's got that kind of like old school book material. Comes with a booklet worked in there, and then the disc. So I can throw that back in, put it this way, and then let's read about Dangerous Game. New York-based filmmaker Eddie Israel, played by Harvey Keitel, is embarking on a new production titled Mother of Mirrors, being shot in Los Angeles. Joining Israel in Hollywood are his film's lead actors, Sarah, played by Madonna, and Francis, played by James Russo, playing an unhappily married couple coming to terms with matters of religion, drug use, and unconventional sex. As reality and fiction begin to merge, Israel's wife, Madeline, played by Nancy Ferrera, by the way, the actual wife of Abel Ferrara, enters the fray of the tumultuous film production that has become home to infidelity, drug use, and acts of violence, setting the stage for an unpredictable and unpromising final act. So one of the things that really sold me on this is, in addition to it being an Abel Ferrara film, the fact that Harvey Keitel's in it. He's a great actor. I always love his performances. And also, it has been reviewed pretty well. So, interested to check out Dangerous Game. Next, we have... This was the other secret title, surprise title you could have pre-ordered in March, but was a part of my subscription. Invasion USA. We got our first Chuck Norris film, which I'm sure will delight a lot of people. I've actually never seen any Chuck Norris films before, so this will be a first. Those are cool. It's a 4K. The original one is very Chuck Norris-y, as you can see. And there's a booklet, a nice big booklet in here, and the discs just look the same. But there's a sizable booklet that I'm going to read through. All right, Matt Hunter thought he had put his fighting days behind him when he retired from the CIA, preferring to live in the serene solitude of the Florida Everglades. But when notorious Soviet terrorist Mikhail Rostov decides to exact revenge against Matt, this one-man army has no choice but to dust off his martial arts skills and face off, Uzis in hand, against his deadliest enemy. However, as Matt tries to remain one step ahead, the insidiously evil Rostov begins deploying bandits of guerrilla fighters across the state to terrorize innocent civilians and force Matt out into the open and compel him to face off for one final bloody showdown. Looks like there are a lot of special features, and I'm excited for this one. It looks like some, over-the-top ridiculous action stuff. Maybe some roundhouse kick. I was going to say kick is. It's been a week, people. My apologies. But yeah, this one looks fun. Then the one I'm third most excited for, release-wise, China O'Brien 1 and 2. I have purchased all of the Cynthia Rothrock releases from Vinegar Syndrome at this point. Thankfully, this was a part of my subscription. Love it. There was also a booklet with essays in here, and the other essays that I've read about her in Righting Wrongs, and what was the other release that had it? One of her other releases had a booklet. Were really cool. This artwork's pretty cool. Although the weird thing is that supposed to be her? Because it doesn't look like her. There it looks like her. There it doesn't look like her. I don't know. Weird. These are 4K as well. Doing plenty of 4Ks here. I'm down with it. Front, And there's 4 discs. Obviously, they do 2 that are 4K, 2 that are Blu-rays. Whoops, that fell out. And usually, it's not sticking in there very well. Oh, there we go. Finally got it. And usually they put the special features on the Blu-ray portion. But anyway, let's read about it. During the 1980s, Cynthia Rothrock was making a name for herself as the queen of... I'm not going to read that, actually. We know about Cynthia Rothrock at this point. Awesome martial artist, fun films. Check them all out. So, China O'Brien. Lori China O'Brien is a tough-as-nails big city cop. After having to use her weapon in the line of duty, China decides to give up her career as a police officer, and move back to her hometown of Beaver Creek, Utah. Upon returning home, China discovers that her once quiet town is now being overrun by corruption and organized crime. Because of course. When China's father, the local sheriff, is killed, China vows to run for sheriff herself in order to rid the town of corruption. With the help of her former boyfriend Matt, as well as a mysterious Native American biker named Dakota, China quickly goes into action, cleaning up the streets of the town she once loved. And then China O'Brien 2. China is forced back into action when her quiet town is once again ravaged by violence. Former drug dealer Charlie Baskin escapes from prison and sets his sights on those who helped get him arrested. Wrangling a team of criminals, Baskin arrives in Beaver Creek in order to take revenge on a man named Frank, who helped put him away. When Baskin kidnaps Frank's wife and daughter, China must once again team up with Matt and Dakota in order to rid the town of criminal lowlifes and protect the innocent. I love Cynthia Rothrock. She seems like a really cool person. I guarantee there are special features on here, interviews that are with her, because they've had it for every one of the releases that they've done for her. I could listen to her talk all day. She always has really cool stories about stuff. Yeah, she's cool. Love the action. I'm into it. Excited. The one I'm second most excited for is the Homegrown Horrors 3 box set. Yeah. I just, during the halfway to Black Friday sale, purchased Volume 2. I had already had Volume 1, and I quite like it for the most part. Winter Beast, amazing. But here we go. That's cool. I like the back, how they cut the things up on the back. The front is okay. The back, I think, looks better. Maybe this on the front would have been cooler. But anyway, let's take all the movies out. Okay, so the first one we have in here is the one that they were letting people know was in here ahead of time, is Haunted Ween. Don't really dig on this, but I dig on this, you know? Oh my goodness, why is that not opening? I'll show you the original artwork. Not great. Not a big fan of the original artwork. It's not terrible, but you know. Alright, one Halloween night, a little girl visiting the Berber family's House of Horrors attraction is brutally hacked to pieces by their young son, Eddie. Having fled the scene, Eddie is taken away by his mother to live in solitude at a remote cabin. 20 years later, Top Hill State College's Sigma Phi fraternity are desperately trying to raise some cash, so they decide to throw a raucous fundraiser party for their peers. In the midst of the festivities, a mysterious figure arrives at the door, offering them the key to the old abandoned Berber house and suggesting that they turn it into a haunted house. Seizing the opportunity, the youngsters quickly set about transforming the property into an elaborate and potentially lucrative Halloween attraction. Little do they realize that Eddie Berber has returned home and intends to have some All Hallows Eve fun of his own, setting up his own kill room where the line between fantasy and reality quickly becomes blurred. Nice. This one was done in Bowling Green, Kentucky, apparently. I'm excited for that. It looked cool from what I've seen about it. The next one is Deadly Love. Is this a one? Let me show you the original artwork for this. It's terrible. Again, pretty bad. You expect that for these, though. Young Annie and biker boyfriend Buddy are hopelessly in love and planning to run away from her cruel and overbearing father who keeps an eye on her every move. Their plans are cut tragically short, however, when the family's unhinged caretaker, Clint, shoots Buddy dead as he arrives on the property under the cover of night. Years later, Annie, now an old reclusive, continues to pine after her lost love and even practicing magic rituals in an attempt to bring him back. Eventually, one day, after suffering ridicule and harassment from some local teens, she decides to end her own life. Coming to the farm in the wake of her aunt's passing, Annie's niece, Hilly, that's a weird name, soon learns from reading her diary that Annie actually believes she'd been able to resurrect Buddy. Sure enough, when some of the youths responsible for driving her aunt to take her own life show up, looking to cause trouble, a mysterious figure in biker gear appears and begins picking them off one by one. Has Buddy risen from the dead to avenge his deadly departed? We'll find out. Or I'll find out, and then I'll tell you. Well, I won't spoil it, but, you know. I'll tell you how it is. And the last one is Revenge. That's kind of a cool... I kind of like that. The mask is pretty sweet. And the original artwork, actually pretty cool. I really do like this original artwork. I debated flipping this cover. And John Carradine's in that, you can see. This one could be cool. In a small college town, a recent spate of grisly slayings dubbed the Sorority House Murders has led to rumors of a so-called blood cult at large, composed of a number of prominent local citizens. Despite the main perpetrator having apparently jumped to their death, the gruesome murders continue unabated, and each victim bearing the signature of the cult, a golden amulet depicting a dog's head left at the scene. Returning to his hometown following the murder of his brother, Michael begins to suspect that the blood cult may have had something to do with his siblings' grim demise. Finding the authorities ineffectual, Michael teams up with his elderly childhood neighbor, Gracie Moore, whose husband has recently fallen prey to the cult, and together the pair hatch a plan to put an end to the gruesome goings-on. That sounds cool. This one's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Deadly Love is from... where it doesn't say. That's kind of weird. Oh, wait. Nevada. Somewhere, you know, multiple locations in Nevada. Oh, and this one, I think... yeah. This one is... the Deadly Love was also done by the guy who did Moonstalker, which was one of the movies in Volume 2, which I haven't seen, but I've heard is really good. So, anyway, Revenge sounds really cool. Very excited for this one. Let's get it. And in general, this box set sounds pretty awesome. That's why it was my number 2 that I'm most excited about of the, you know, Vinegar Syndrome releases, plus Cinematograph. And the one I'm most excited about, I had to buy myself. It was a VSA release. They said that this is the most requested release after well, since Champagne and Bullets, which I love Champagne and Bullets. And this one looks to be that type of movie, like a ridiculous, over-the-top, so bad it's good film. And from what I'm hearing from people who have already watched it, it lives up to it. The Instructor. Just look at that. That is an amazing cover. I love, love, love what they did with the slip here. That's cool on the back too. I'm down with it. That looks fun. That's more like the original style artwork, I think. And I got number 456, if anyone cares. Lower. Yeah, and then I just flipped it on the inside. Oh, this one also has a poster and a booklet. I'm not going to pull the booklet out because of how it's kind of packed in here. But there's a booklet in there that I'm going to end up going over. And yeah, just repeats of that stuff. Okay, here we go. The Instructor, played by real-life martial artist Bob Chaney, runs a local karate school where he spends his days training his students in the art of defense, including his best friend Thumper. Since discovering his wife dead under mysterious circumstances, the Instructor has vowed to only use his martial arts training for good in an attempt to overcome his desire for revenge. However, when a rival martial arts school run by the slimy Bud Hart begins engaging in crime and corruption, the Instructor finds himself struggling to contain his anger and is pushed to a breaking point when Hart sets his sights on the Instructor's students. After Thumper is mercilessly beaten in a locker room during a martial arts tournament, the Instructor can no longer suppress his anger and sets out to take revenge on his evil rival. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Sounds awesome. I'm very, very excited for it. I hate these bottom-loading covers because it's usually kind of hard. But actually what I figured out, for anyone who doesn't know, if you push in on the sides while you're trying to push it in slowly, usually it won't get caught on the plastic. So I found that out recently, just on my own messing around with it. But yeah, super, super, super excited about this one. These are the types of films I love, just stupid, ridiculous, over the top. I saw someone already talking about this online, saying that there are so many nut shots in it. And I was like, okay, that sounds goofy and fun and ridiculous. So what of these films would you be most interested in watching? What of these films did you pick up? Also, what did you get from the Halfway to Black Friday sale? Reminder again, I'm going to be reviewing these maybe not in one video, it'll probably be like a part 1, part 2, because that'd be a lot to go over. It'd be a very long video. Yeah, but you can look for that whenever. It'll just be based on when I get to watching them and through the supplements or the special features included, the essays, all that stuff, and then doing the video. And things have been a little bit hectic in my life recently. So yeah, don't know when it's coming, but at some point. But thank you everyone for checking this out. Do me a favor, comment, thumbs up on the video to help me with that algorithm. I don't know why that's happening on the screen anyway, but I don't know if you saw it, but literally when I did the thumbs up, it had like a bubble with a thumb that came up. I'm going to leave it in there if it's there. But anyway, do that. Hit subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell button if you want to know when I'm putting up new videos. But regardless, thank you very much for your time. And until next time, keep it brutal.